pain, but I can't let you hurt me ever again. What I gotta do to be loved? What I gotta do to see love? A battle I'm sure to lose. Chest wide open from the exit wounds, and you pull the trigger. But if I say what you want me to say.
All right. So let's do this. Season 5 Cal Podcast, man. We back with another episode talking about Black women. Y'all already know how we do it. And we got a special guest. And this one is a hometown, born and raised in Jacksonville, graduate of Rebound High School. I think you went to Palm Beach Community College?
I did, yes.
And then
I was telling my age because it's Palm Beach State College now, but it's cool.
Yeah, and then you went to some school in Texas, which I never heard of until you went there.
I did. It was the University of Texas Pan American. Now they call it the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. So it's down in the valley.
On the west. It's west of Texas now?
It's more of the south. It's not too far from Brownsville, South Padre Island. If people have ever went there for spring break, it's like South Texas.
South Texas. So, okay. But we want to welcome in my homegirl, my classmate. We want to welcome the one and only Miss Jessica into the cab. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You're good. I know. Because when you respond, I'm like, yeah, she ready for this. So we're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna have a good conversation, But yeah, I'm just happy that you accepted and was happy to come on.
Of course.
So, all right. So, Jessica, we got a couple questions. We're talking about Black women, but before we get started, the first question that we ask people. Oh, by the way, my co-hosts, they always get on late because they're an hour behind me. They in that Rio Grande Central Time frame, so they'll jump on when they get on. So the first question that we ask people and we didn't come up with this question, Jessica. We stole this from Charlamagne from the Breakfast Club. How is your mental health?
My mental health is pretty good these days. I do a lot of mindfulness as I have to with my career anyway. So it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we just got to check it because some people, man, the main reason why is because during the pandemic and up to now, I got to write this down, but it was Miss Universe, a Black woman, she committed suicide. Mm-hmm. Then it was Miss Alabama. She committed suicide. It was another one. She also committed suicide. And then it was a cheerleader from Southern University. She committed suicide. And all these were Black women. So I'm like, what the hell is going on where Black women are now committing suicide at a higher rate than everybody else? So
yeah, because at some point we weren't even part of the statistic. Mm-hmm.
So we got to ask that question. Now, our next question that we asked also come from the pandemic because I didn't see white women, I didn't see Asian women, Latino women. All I saw was Black women getting attacked going into housing. If it wasn't for the door dashes and the ring cams. So the next question we asked is, Jessica, do you have a gun and do you have a gun license?
I do not, but I feel like
you should.
As of last year, it's been on my mind to do that. I've never been for guns, but I can tell you, I took it upon myself to actually go and, take a look and see what the classes are like and that type of ordeal, but I haven't made it to the point of purchasing or getting the license yet. But that's something I really want to do now, though.
So if you don't want a gun, my sister, she has her gun license, but I gave her my taser.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to have something of the sort.
So now you're on my list who asks I got to be on to get that taken care of. Because I'm real strict about that. So those are the first two questions that we ask people in the cab. So this season we talking about Black women. So we got a couple questions for you. But before we get started, we do have 7 questions that we're going to ask during, and it's going to be nasty and relationship questions. Now, you get to choose. You get to choose 7. It could be 4 nasty, 3 relation, or 4 relation, 3 nasty. You can't do 5, 2, 6, 1, all 7. So, how you doing this? 4, 3?
Let's do 4, 3.
4, 3 what?
let's do 4 relationships.
3
and
nasty.
3 nasty. Yeah,
All
let's do
right,
it
so
that
let
way.
me get rid of nasty question. That would have been a good
I
question.
love it.
That would have been a good question to ask you, but we got to get rid of it. Okay, so TJ, this is Jessica. Jessica, this is TJ. He's like the silent co-host of the Cal Podcast, but when we need somebody to go to, this is the guy we always call upon. So TJ, Jessica, TJ.
What's up, Jessica?
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
So, Jessica, we talking about Black women. So straight up off the top, in your own opinion, what is the state of Black women in the year 2023 to you?
I saw you post this. I tried to, I made sure I didn't look at what other people responded, but I put a comment on the Instagram page. I honestly feel like it depends on the age. I feel like it's a good time for Black women. I think it's I don't know, like at least I can really vouch from my perspective of it, but I think it's just a time where there's so much more opportunity out there for us. More Black women are coming together. And I think age is really the biggest thing. There's a lot more 20-year-olds, late 20s, early 30s that are really doing some stuff out there, entrepreneurs, different things like that. So I think the state of mind is different, at least, when I was that age. And there's a lot of older women, right, that are coming into their own, now, and they're taking advantage of opportunities. I think the mindset is go out and get it. But I know some people may say, otherwise. That mental health piece is huge. That's the field that I work in. So I've kind of seen it on both sides. But I would have to say, like Issa Rae, like Black women are women. We're winning right now. Like I think a lot more Black women are in a little bit more of a positive state of mind. So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. Now, if you see me look over, it's not because I'm not paying attention. I'm just making sure everything's straight because I got I got my iPad and it's recording. I want to make sure good. So if you ever do this, see me do this, it's not because I'm not paying attention. I'm just making sure everything good. So, okay. So you say Black women is a positive right now because, so I'm just speaking from what I see. Is it a positive because now y'all to the forefront or y'all just getting y'all just due?
I'm going to say a little bit of both. I think more Black women are getting a little bit more credit than before, right? Like I feel like it was a point where we were forced to kind of be strong for everybody, do for everybody. But now I've seen more of a movement where women are learning how to take care of themselves. Black women put themselves first and not settling for certain things. I feel like more Black women are getting more hip to that. As they just grow into their own. But I mean, again, we can look at that as Black women as individuals, whether they're in relationships or not. It's so many avenues you can go into it, but I'm always going to go back to the age range.
Okay. So that's like the third time you brought up the age range. So what you mean by age range when it comes to y'all? Like, is it because of, you say you got the younger, the mid, the older? So what we talking about?
So if we look at ladies that may be between the ages of 20 and 25, they're probably, those Black ladies are probably still trying to figure it out. But I feel like ladies in the younger 20s are starting to find their voice a little bit sooner, right? Then I feel like ladies that are, let's say, between the ages of 28 and 35-ish, same thing, but on a different scale, on a different caliber, whether it's career-wise or relationship-wise. You have ladies that are late 20s, early 30s. Maybe they're starting to get into a little bit more serious relationships, whether it's marriage or, longer-term relationships, and they're not necessarily settling for certain things. I think, too, mid-30s to early 40s, I'm seeing a lot more entrepreneurs or women that are able to find more of a balance between themselves, the partner, the business, and then I have mentors myself that are, I want to say, because my godmom is about 55-ish. So between 50, I'll go like 50 and 65. Those ladies are just, businesses are booming, whether they're still in long marriages or not, or maybe they're out dating again. They've even found a new voice, for themselves. So that's why I say about the age range, it kind of differs. But if you want to throw us all in a melting pot as a collective, there's just more opportunity now. I feel like more Black women are finding their voices as individuals. And with everything, natural hair, I mean, it's so it's so complex. We're just complex creatures, but I think it's more of a positive movement than what I've seen maybe 15, 20 years ago for us.
Okay. Well, you're the first to break down the age group. Most people is I'm gonna say this, we have to pull it out because we'll break it down from the city girls and the hot girl summer, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, the younger girls, they not about what this group about, but they more with the popping it and dropping it, in which I'm all here for that.
Yeah, me too. Because even if you think about city girls, right? Like I've saw where someone said they're like a reenactment of like Salt and Pepper. But if we look at even that movement alone, if they don't, follow the process of like body shaming and they standing up for what they believe in and what they want to do, and and I don't totally agree with it. But if that's something that they're choosing to do, they're standing full-fledged, on what they believe in, that's its own movement as well.
Okay. But you do know with that movement, all of them women who talk that trash, from Cardi B to Megan to the city girl, they all go home to their man. Now, young Miami, her situation is a little different.
Yeah.
But JT, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion, they talk that talk, but they still go home to their man. So is that like, I know the music don't reflect the lifestyle, but should people, the younger girls, should they pay attention to the lifestyle or the music?
I'm gonna have to go with the lifestyle, the reality of it.
But they don't.
But yeah, I guess you are right about that. And it goes into, idols and stuff like that as well. But again, okay, if we think about ladies in their early 20s, like we were probably doing stuff in our early 20s, whether it's a phase or what have you. Everyone has to experience something for them to say, okay, this is what I should be doing or should not. But we don't really have, we can't really tell people what their journey is, right? But I commend those young ladies for doing that. I remember us being in high school, like, people probably living like that in real life, like the music, right? But it was more of a shameful situation. But now you really do have young ladies that are like, this is what I want to do with my body, and I commend them for being brave enough to do that, whether I agree with it or not. But I have to look at the reality of it as well, beyond music.
Do me a favor, disconnect your headphone. Let me see if you sound a little bit better. Because it sounds like you're far. Just talk for me.
1 second. I'm going to turn it off.
Talk again for me one more time. You can hear me? Oh, give you time. Season 5 Cal Podcast. Gotta get them right.
Yes, sir.
Gotta get them right. Talk one more time.
Is that better?
Yeah, turn the volume up. Turn the volume up.
I'm on the tablet, so it's as high as it can go.
Okay, that's good. You sound way louder and clearer. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Look, these beats, you spend all that money.
Hey, but look, we gonna get you right because we don't want you to sound terrible. We don't want you to look terrible. Like that's why I say you got a better light sound. We're gonna get you right. So we ain't finna just have you out here sounding all robotic. And, I agree with the girls and everything they doing. I like it. Yeah, we ain't gonna have you like that. So we got you. So that sounds way more better. All right. So now you did post something on your page about how you finished on your entrepreneur journey.
Mm-hmm. So
what is like that for you now, walking away from a 9-to-5? I think you got like 2 more months if I'm correct.
So my journey has been so weird. I literally today was like the last day at my last job.
Come on now.
Yeah, I gave them that notice. It was like, out of there. But I'm moving into full-time therapy starting on Monday. I have 2 exams left before I'm a licensed therapist.
Come on now.
But in the meantime, between time with that, I'm also a brand new author. And so I'm looking to release, my first self-help guide and journal within the next 5 to 6 months or so. And the ultimate goal is once I have a full license by the fall, my plan is to just not work for the men. Like it's all on me. So as soon as you said about the podcast, I'm like, yes, I want the experience. I'll come on here as many times as you would have me, because I would love to be able to, outsource and have as many listeners as possible, whether they turn to clients or not. But this realm of the discussion that you guys are doing this season is right up my alley.
Well, first of all, go ahead, teacher.
Yeah, I hear you say something about a book. I want to hear more about this book.
It's called, I got what I have.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
So it's called Bees Pound Cake, Feeding Mental Health for the Soul. And again, my grandmother's name was Beatrice. And so I named the book after her. The pound cake is like the metaphor. So throughout each chapter, I'm pretty much giving clients or readers a recipe for getting back to themselves.
I love it.
Within it, I address, and so you can see I have like pages for people to write on. Yeah. But I start with, like, for example, the first chapter is, is your kitchen clean? I feel like in order for us to get down to the nitty gritty of why we're experiencing some of the things we are, whether it's emotional, physical, intellectual, spiritual, we have to look at the red flags first. We all have them. We ignore them from time to time or all the time, right? And so I'm just helping people go through warning signs that they have, how to kind of check in with yourself daily, getting back to hobbies and different things like that, how to set boundaries, time boundaries. Are you giving your time to everybody else but yourself? Emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries. And it's, for both men and women, but
no. Keep the book. I'm gonna cut y'all because let's go through the chapters real quick. So the first chapter, we're gonna break. First chapter is called "Keep Your Kitchen." Is your kitchen clean?
Is your kitchen clean? Early signs.
Okay. What's the second chapter?
The second one, let me get to the front. Second one is the recipe, becoming centered.
The recipe. The third chapter.
The third chapter is this? Oh, this cake is for you.
This cake is for you. This cake is for you. Okay, and then
I like that.
Yeah, because it's all about setting healthy.
No! Don't break it down yet. We're finna break this down because we're finna go through this book with you. What's chapter 4? How many chapters is it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so we're gonna do 5. Give me 2 more. It don't have to be in order. So we got give me 2 more. We got the kitchen clean, the recipe, this cake for you, and give me 2 more.
Remember, this cake is yours.
Remember, this cake is yours. This is turning in good.
And don't forget to set your timer.
Don't
forget
these
chapter names.
Don't forget to set your timer.
Hey, look, Jessica. First, I have another question. Did you self-publish this book?
No. You know what? No, I did the copyright, but that's the last piece. I'm looking for publishing, and I've been in between. Do I want to self-publish, or I'm in Tampa, so I'm trying to see if I want to go with someone local. But we can talk about it, but that's the last piece to my puzzle. Once I get publishing, I'm ready to go.
So, real talk, I had questions to ask you. We ain't finna talk about these questions. We finna talk about this book because these are some titles. Is your kitchen clean? Now, I'm gonna give you what I think is your kitchen clean. TJ, you gonna give your point, and then Jessica, you gonna give us not your point. You're gonna bring it. So when I hear "is your kitchen clean," I think that means is everything in your life clean? Where is it you got rid of toxic people, eating right, living right, and doing the right thing. TJ.
It's kind of a weighted question for me because I'm
I already know that's why I go first. You go
kitchen, so
I go first than you.
So like before you start cooking, like you have to make sure your kitchen is clean, and as soon as you're done cooking, the first thing you do is clean your kitchen, and the last thing you do is clean your kitchen. So for me, I mean, it's everything. Like clear, everything is clear. Everything is in its rightful place. Like all your ingredients are together. Your dishes are where they need to be. So when you're translating that into your life, like and it kind of goes into the other chapters. Like, okay, I'm good. I know I'm good. I know I've done the work I need to do as far as making sure my personal life is together. I'm actually in a space where I can deal with people. My spirit is clean. I'm ready to get out and date again. Like it's a whole lot, man. I can talk for days about it, but I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna keep it brief right there, though.
Now, Jessica, you bring it home for us, but keep it with the topic. Black women, what do Black women need to do to get their kitchen clean?
Well, they want to identify 3 main areas.
Okay, let us know.
The first one is their emotional warning signs. Am I experiencing depression, anxiety, those type of things? You gotta figure out what your warning signs are when it comes to your emotions. That's number 1. Number 2 would be your physical warning signs, right? Do I experience headaches, every day? Though sometimes it's a telltale sign of stress, right? And we will completely ignore that. And the last one is like behavioral warning signs. What type of behaviors are we experiencing that are just not good? Like it's not good. Example, one could be sleeping more than usual. I'm more tired than normal. Those are signs of depression.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know that, right? Or impulsive
naps.
Oh yeah, or like impulsive behaviors, right? Impulsiveness. I'm shopping, and after I shop, I'm depressed afterwards, right? Or I don't know why I just spent all that money, right? Or impulsive eating. Like, so the behaviors, we have to really take a look at what are our emotional warning signs, physical and behavioral warning signs. Another thing, is your kitchen clean? Like, take a look at what's happening when you're around people, places, and things. Like, did you wake up this morning and you were in a good mood, and now it's the end of the day and you are just pissed? Did you even address what happened between this morning and before you went to bed? A lot of times, especially as Black women, we want to be superheroes, super cape. I'm, Miss Independent, I can do this, I can do that. And we don't take the time to look at any of the early warning signs at all. So in order to start to rebuild or figure out like what you really want to have for yourself, you got to get your kitchen clean first. So that's before you even get the recipe.
Get your kitchen clean.
Listen, I so hate that I'm going to miss this, but I have a planning committee call that I'm already 10 minutes late for. But as soon as I get off of that, hopefully y'all are still on, and I'm gonna come back because I would love to join, be in on this conversation.
Bye, TJ.
All right.
Your kitchen clean. Okay. All right. So that's okay. All right. Let's go to another one. So once again, I'm gonna go first. The recipe. Now, I'm just giving you what I'm thinking when I hear the recipe. Am I following the instructions to the recipe that I was given? Maybe something like walking on a journey, Bible verses, or even let's say health, or even what's a good one when you hear the recipe? Just daily living. Am I taking care of myself? So that's what I think the recipe. Now, Jessica, what does the recipe really mean?
It's like a good place to start, but it's really becoming centered. Mindfulness. So it pretty much is like a part 2 of the Is Your Kitchen Clean? Now that we have become mindful of the early warning signs or the problems or the issues that we need to address, now it's time for you to become centered, getting yourself to a place of being ready to receive this new journey that you're getting ready to take, right? You know how sometimes we'll create a goal and we're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but we don't plan for it, or is the time right for us to start doing that? Like, are we actually centered? So I even have something in the book where you can close your eyes, see how your body feels, physically. Give yourself a few moments to actually get into a space to be ready to address these early warning signs. So the recipe is clearly, let's become centered.
So let me ask you, when you decided to walk away from your 9 to 5, did you have a chance to actually go through the recipe, like to know the proper steps, to know what to do? Am I cool with this? Am I ready for this? Like, what was that process for you?
Yeah, all of last year, I told myself the beginning of last year that there were certain things that I wanted to see done, that I wanted to see finish out. And everything that I've written in this book, I've done myself. I run groups on it as well. I started off running groups on it, took my own advice. Now I'm ready to share it, with the world. But I just made a cautious decision. Like, it's time for me to put myself first. The things that I want to be able to have, I can have them in any capacity, career, what have you. And I did a lot of mindfulness, just like the book says, getting grounded, meditation, and a lot of mirror work, like looking in the mirror at myself, and working with my mentor. So all those things as a collective, I became centered and focused. Mm-hmm.
All right. Going to our questions, but let me do the shameless plug. By tonight, Conversation 8 Metaphor, y'all can go get that on Amazon. No, not Amazon. Go to his IG and order from them because the money goes straight to them. Tonight's conversation. All right, Jessica, here's your first relationship question. All right. Who responsibility, do you feel like your next spouse or boo, whatever, should contribute equally to the household responsibilities, and why?
That's tricky. Me on a personal level? You asking for me on a personal level?
I'm asking you. This is your opinion. This is how do you feel about it? Do you use a yes, nay, or the man should pay for it, or should I, or should we be 50-50? We need your answer.
So I'm cool with, for me personally, I'm cool with the 50-50. I'm not like the type that I don't have to have like you paying for everything or like treat it like a housewife type of thing, because I'm a career person. So I couldn't really vibe with my man paying for absolutely everything. However, I feel like there's a way we can kind of split stuff, whether it's he take care of the main bills and I take care of the trips and the, you know what I'm saying, like the sidebar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's 50-50, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the value and the number, but if I'm putting the same effort in to plan trips for shopping and stuff, and he taking care of the main bills, I can deal with that. I'm not opposed to it working in that type of system.
Okay. Quita, turn your camera on. I'm about to ask a nasty question. I know you be ready for these questions. So, all right, going to a nasty question, Jessica. You're turned on. How do you let your spouse know that you're ready to get it on without saying anything?
I'm like, I'm gonna let him know directly.
But you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing.
I can't say.
How you go? You can't say anything. But you know you're ready for action. What do you do to let your spouse know, or your boo or your babe?
I'm probably going to guide him where I need him to go. I don't mind giving directives. So whether I need him to put his hand in places or to show him that I'm stimulated, like let's get it going. That's probably what I would end up doing.
Okay.
To be honest, since I can't use
my can't use no gotta be whatever you do, whatever you want to do. So this is once she turned her light on, because boy, she looked dark.
He got me too.
Boy, you look dark.
Like,
so this
I don't even have nothing.
So this is Quita. She's one of the co-hosts of the Cal podcast. She also just won Best Decorator in the Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi area. So that's her business in the background. So when she won Best Decorator in the Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi area, that means I won as well. So we
my
won Best
Decorator.
Decorator.
Keep poking through the filter
because you keep touching it. Don't put your hand back down. If you don't move, don't move your hand. Once you move your hand, we see the teddy bear.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So
I got an event coming up. He's a 5-foot teddy bear. Sorry.
So this is Quita. Quita, this is Jessica.
See him right here.
Hi,
Jessica.
How are you?
So I'm great. I'm sorry I'm late. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'll be doing.
Yeah, because remember, we just won Best Decorator.
Oh,
So-
MG.
So we Quita, I had questions for Jessica, but Jessica got a whole book, and she got some chap. Yeah, hold up the book one time, Jessica.
Oh, pound cake.
Feeding help for the soul. So I have a recipe to get back to us.
And we going through some of the chapters. Now we can't go through all of them, but we did pick 5. So the first chapter is your kitchen clean? The second chapter is the recipe. The third one is this cake is for you.
And
then we picked 2 more because we're only gonna do 5. Remember that this cake is yours. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then the last one we did, don't forget your timer.
Don't forget to set your timer.
Don't forget to set your timer. Let me put that in there.
Yes.
So right now we own for this cake is for you. Now, when I hear that, Jessica, first thing come to mind is booty.
Wait, no. It depends on, like, you got to read the back of the book and see what we're talking about first.
No, we're talking about mental health, right?
But so this is me. This is me reading from the outside in. So when I hear that this cake is for you, first thing I come is my woman, my girl. This booty is for me.
Oh.
So Quita, when you hear this cake is for you, what does it mean to you?
I seen the title, so, but yeah, I went there too.
I'm gonna have to write another book.
I mean, when you say this cake is for you,
because I mean that cake became sexual, so it's sexualized now. So that's what it was. But when I seen it said mental health, but so I figured that it wasn't that cake.
So,
right.
Jessica, break it down. What does this cake for you mean?
Should I bring Quita up to speed? So she has.
You could, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so the book itself, pretty much, was my grandmother's name, Beatrice. So I named the book after her. But each chapter goes into, the first chapter was, is your kitchen clean? And it talks about early warning signs, things that we ignore all the time, right? So we ignore how we feel emotionally, physically, and our behaviors, whether it's, eating too much or not sleeping enough.
Sleeping too much is a sign of depression. Just learn that.
I wish.
And stuff like that. And then we talked about becoming centered, actually having the mental space and being ready to work on yourself. So many times we make goals and we don't see them through because we're not ready to do so. So figuring out how to become grounded. This chapter is all about setting your healthy personal boundaries. The first word of this chapter is the word no. It's one of the most powerful words that a human being can use, but how often do we skip out on that, right? There's a lot of people that are people pleasers. Man, especially for us, Black folks, like, it's difficult for us to keep our boundaries. So in this one, I talk about setting your intellectual boundaries, your emotional boundaries, right? Like, how often has someone criticized or didn't validate your feelings, and we just let it go. We let it build up. Right now we're ready to fight. We could have just set that boundary early on with people. Our physical boundaries, sexual boundaries, right? Material and our time boundaries. That's the biggest one. If anyone's ever taken advantage or wasted your time, or you spent your time on things that if you would have just spent it on yourself, imagine how much further you could be. So I go deep into those boundaries, each category. And there's a section for people to be able to journal and write, as they go along throughout the entire book.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a digital form?
I do not. I haven't published just yet. I'm looking to publish in like the next 5 months or so, but I don't want digital copies because it's a journal. I need people to actually write. I need them to write this stuff down, penmanship on there. Then I'll look to do something more digital, but I want people to feel it, like, actually it's something nostalgic, I feel like, about writing. I'm a big journal person myself. It's different when you have to write it down.
Yeah.
So this cake for you.
It's for you and for you only. It's not for nobody else. One thing too, Quita, in a matter of 6 months, I'll be a licensed therapist. And so I'm also stepping into having my own, clients and stuff. That's why I have the book, Just Quit My 9-to-5 Job. Like, I'm done with y'all.
Congratulations.
Because Jessica, you gonna have to send her this book because we trying to get this heifer to go full time with Touch of Glass.
You got to do it. It's our time to step out on faith. You just got to do it. You just got to go for it. I can't keep working for somebody else. There's too much opportunity and money and people that
Jessica, if you go to her YouTube, she got a Touch of Glass video that has over 15,000 views.
Wow.
It has 13, but okay.
Okay, come out. I'm gonna send it to you. We're gonna break this book down together, and then you're gonna go right on and do what he talking about. We're gonna find the blockage and we're gonna get it.
Continue on, Jessica. Continue on.
But yeah, those boundaries, huge, is so important. As a matter of fact, I have 2 chapters. I have a continued chapter on that and making sure that we hold ourselves accountable and say no when we need to. The other thing about it is relationships will change as boundaries. You'll be able to see who's with us on this journey. I have a section for people to write that down too. Places change, people change, and those that want to see us grow and do better, they'll rock with us with those boundaries when we say no. But for others that have a tough time with us putting ourselves first, that is a red flag. You got to go all the way back to your early warning signs. That's a problem. Yeah, so I break that down into 2 chapters.
This cake is for you. Go on to the next one. Remember that this cake is yours. Now, we kind of said it's not booty. We got that off the table.
Right.
So now that you don't say what you said, remember that this cake is yours. So I'm getting the vibe is that the cake that you made and baked, it is for you to eat, which basically means for you to blossom into who you need to be, to grow into that person that you told yourself that you was going to be. So that's what I'm getting from it. We know it's not booty though.
Right.
Oh. So Quita, what does that mean to you?
This cake is for you.
Remember that this cake is yours.
Oh, remember that this cake is yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just going off of, it's for mental health issues. Okay, so
take booty off the table.
Right, because she was like, okay, let me.
No. I'm gonna say that basically, this is your life. You got to control your life. The things that, when I say you got to control your life, I'm saying as in whatever you decide to do, because she said, no is a strong word. And it seems like it's all about you. You got to remember that this is about, you are about you. Like, that's what I get from it. This cake is for you. Remember that this cake is for you. So.
Yeah. And the biggest piece to sum all of that, you guys, is self-care. We do, oh man, so many people struggle with self-care. It's
keep it with black women. Keep it with black women. Self-care.
We struggle with self-care. We struggle to get
absolutely, because we put everybody before us.
Yes, all the time, right? And so as you're going, as Black lady, Black women going along the chapters, they've already looked at the early warning signs. They're starting to set boundaries. Remember, with this book, you can take your time, with it. So whether it's one chapter for a whole month, if that's where you are, you have to work on that one thing for the whole month, that's fine. But then I also want people to remember self-care is very important. That's getting enough sleep, eating the right way, going to the dentist, going to the doctor, doing yoga, meditation, taking care of, there's a lot of changes that are happening when you start to set boundaries and you're starting to address things that maybe you haven't addressed in years or in months.
Yeah.
And so your mindset starts to change. Again, the people around you are starting to change, whether it's for the good or the bad. And so self-care is important so you don't lose the progress that you've already made, and making sure that you're doing those check-ins on yourself. For me, I pride myself on checking in quite often throughout the day. I'm checking in to see how I feel. Quita, in the beginning, I gave an example of in the morning, did I wake up, in a good mood? And now it's nighttime and I'm pissed, I'm upset. I need to figure out what happened throughout the day. Was it something that somebody said? Was it something that somebody did? Does my body feel a lot different from earlier? I need to check in and do something about it a lot sooner instead of it getting worse and worse. Or I should have made that doctor's appointment. I should have checked that person at work. I should have taken an hour lunch break instead of working through it. So making sure that we take care of self-care is important. Figuring out a self-care routine. Some people have morning routines, nighttime routines. It's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but it's important to figure out what self-care is for you and capitalize on it.
I've been so during since we started this season 5 talking about Black women. You haven't said it, but I'm gonna put it together. So is healing and self-care that's something that go together?
Absolutely. That's a part of.
So my question is to y'all as Black women, what have you been doing to not even recognize that you need self-care or healing?
Putting everybody's needs before your needs.
But why though? Why would you do that? Why would you take care of you first? Because there's only one of you. There's only one Jessica. There's only one Quita.
I feel like I can tell you because that was me. I was the biggest people pleaser until maybe a couple years ago. I'll be 36 next Friday. And people pleasing is something that I definitely, that was me. I did not want people to know what I had going on in my personal life. It was better for me to help everybody else with their stuff so they didn't have to worry about what I had going on. It gave me a reason to avoid my own stuff. And I'm really good at helping, right? And so it just got to a place where I realized like I just couldn't keep living like that because it was a lot. I'm just going to be, honest, whether I hit behind school or my career or what have you. And that made it to where self-care was non-existent. I was always on the go. Even through the pandemic, I worked at a psych hospital and I never stopped working. I wasn't one of those that had a chance to stay home. So me just constantly on the go, I didn't have to worry about my own stuff. That's what it came down to for me. So it wasn't no self-care at all.
I didn't. It took somebody else simply saying something about some nails. They was like, "Oh, we need to get your nails done." I'm like, I looked and I was like, I used to keep my nails done, but having children and a husband and you're trying to make sure everybody's good, you put everybody's needs before your own needs. You get off work, you go grocery shopping so you can come home and cook. Like, I'm trying to do stuff in between time. And you just lose yourself in it. So when they said, "Oh, we need our nails done," I was like, wow. It took them saying that for me to realize that I had lost myself.
It makes you wonder who told Black women like that was our job. That's when I knew I had boundaries. Like, wait a minute, I really don't have to do the most. Why do I feel like I need to do the most? And so setting those boundaries, now people know even with dating, this is my expectation. This is what I can do. And either you can be with it or this is not going to work. And I'm okay with that.
And people still live, they look at women in a traditional way. Like they still expect us to do those things. Like I've had situations with my parents and they're like, "Well, you're the mom, so you should do this X, Y, and Z." But it takes two. It takes two people to handle some situations. Like,
all right, Jess, going to another relationship question. Here we go.
All right.
To your ex, what would you say to him? And you only got 30 seconds to talk to him. And your timer starts now.
I would say thanks for the lesson. If no losses, learned a lot, learned what to do, what not to do, and how to set those boundaries. And I appreciate the journey that we did take together, because had we not gone through that journey, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's it. Yeah, I don't need no more time.
Okay, all right. Now, going to a nasty question. Name one thing you always wanted to try sexually, but haven't.
Having sex on a hotel balcony, like that's almost, it's like public but private, but not really. But you like, you know what I mean? Like pay for a hotel and stuff, but we don't know other people on their balcony. But who cares? That's something. Yeah, that's out there. Not too public, but you know.
We get it.
I'm for outside.
Yeah, knock down on the balcony. Go ahead, Jessica.
No, that ain't. She didn't say knock down.
Self-care.
Yes, that is part of self-care. You gotta have
self-care. That you need to have that self-care. Okay. Now, before we get to the last one, I do want to ask you 2 questions that we had, and then we're gonna get to the last one, which is don't forget to set your timer. Now, I got a question to ask. So we've been asking women this question as well too. Do Black women know when a man desire her or value her? Can they tell the difference?
I think so, yeah.
We got to break it down.
I think it's all about time and effort. I'm a person of all the little things. So if a man is making time for you, like he can say, I have a super busy schedule, but if he's saying, I'll come see you on my hour lunch break, you know, little things like that, that time and that effort, you can tell if somebody's like,
so
really
what if I put all the time in, you know, make time for you, show effort, flowers and little stuff, but all I really want to do is just smash.
See, that's what people just gotta be honest though. And I feel like women, we can kind of tell when things start to change as well. A man's like day-to-day stuff or the way they react or, you know, act towards, you know, different things. But like for me, I'm not super big on material. I'm more about like the time, the quality time, you know, and all the little things. But I think it just depends. But I feel like for me, I can tell if somebody's really, if a guy's really into me or if they're not feeling me, they playing around.
Okay. Well, this is a question to ask because it came up and I thought it was a good question because I've done stuff to make a woman seem like I value her, but I just wanted to smash.
And as women, we have responsibility to ask, you know, the right questions, not make ourselves so available as well, right? Like we can't just come off like, you know, making it very easy and convenient too. It's kind of like a dance. But I would say if women go back to courting, that's something that I totally believe in. I'm old school on that end. If women go to doing like a courting process, they can start weeding them out, my opinion. Like making them wait, going on dates, asking the right questions, looking at those early warning signs. Don't ignore them, you know, because the guy is handsome or, you know, his penis big and all that type of stuff. Like, don't ignore them red flags because they help.
Okay. Is somebody putting something in the microwave?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you good. Because no, we still the sound. The sound is just real good. So it sounds like somebody.
Oh my gosh!
Don't put your headphones back in because it's still good.
Okay, so, I won't. I was turning the volume down.
No, turn it back up so you can we can hear. It's all. This is what we do in the cab. So we don't have people get in the cab and have somebody wail in the background, listen to us answering the question. We're like,
I gotta cover this teddy bear. He's getting on my nerves.
It's
anyway,
really
so we done had the worst of the worst. So, but we just tell people if you really want to be in the pocket, you just come to the camera.
Just say that, you know.
Yeah, like the girl wailing in the background answering questions. Men ain't shit. Oh, come to the camera and say that then.
It's dinner time on this side.
Yeah. Queen, you can't put him on the floor. Just hold him. Just hold the bell.
But you're not gonna be able to see him. Like now he's in my lap and you can't even see him. I don't even know where to put him.
Yeah, put him on the floor.
I'm gonna put him on my bed. That's why I had to pick his big butt up to put him on the bed. Oh my goodness. There he's gone now.
Yeah, welcome to the cab, Jess.
I love it.
Okay, now this question I just want to stay with it because I tease with a little with the entrepreneur because now you have more Black women who are becoming entrepreneurs. So do you think that the modern women is dying? The modern women's style. Let me rephrase that.
As in like staying home, cooking,
staying home, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, taking the kids to school, doing all that. Like you see more Black women who are now doing more entrepreneurial stuff. So that who's taking care of the house is now nannies. And so but you got men, but you got some men say they want a modern wife, but is that even logic in 2023?
It is. There's millions of people in the world, right? But it's just more opportunity, and those opportunities weren't there so many umpteen, years ago. And there's enough of it out there. And so it's like, why not? Why not take the opportunity on jumping out on faith and betting on myself? Either it'll work or it won't. But if as little brown girls, we have dreams to do different things, and we can do that now. It's within sight, right? Because of technology and stuff. Why not? Like, why not go for it? I think that's why the conversation when you have a partner is important to see if they're comfortable. There's some women that are the breadwinners, in a relationship. And like how you asked me earlier, what do I think about 50-50? It depends on the dynamic of the partners, right? And the individuals, how they feel about it. Again, for me, I'm definitely not the modern woman. Like, I don't want to be at home, like just the kids and, cooking. And now a good balance of that, of course, like, yeah, I'm gonna cook some meals and I'm gonna do this and, cater and rub your feet and all that. But then it's gonna be times where I want to be able to have that too. I feel like it's fair enough to share that, but I'm one of those people. I'm not a modern woman. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to the book. I think we got time to do one more. Give me chapter number 9.
Let's do the don't forget to set your timer.
No, I want to do that one last because I feel like
you want to do that one last?
Yeah, because I think that's gonna be a big one.
What's the other one we got?
So what is number 9?
How many chapters does it have?
Just 11.
Okay.
Yeah, that was number 9. Don't forget to set your timer.
Well, give me the last one.
The very last one is what makes this cake so good.
Okay. Now see what down. That's one is the last one. What makes this cake? So let's go back to it. Don't forget to set your timer. Now, set your timer. And when I see that, and she got a clock in there. Okay, this book gonna be all right. Abstract. So don't forget to set your timer. I'm assuming that means not alarm clock, but setting it for like goals. Like if you setting goals, somebody just pop some champagne. Setting the goals where you make sure you hit it, or even something like what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to set your timer.
A time frame.
Yeah, do stuff in a time frame. Like even if it's like you finna go to the gym, you got you set 2 hours from that. Make sure once them 2 hours up, get up out of there because you got to get to the next thing. If you say you're gonna read a book, 30 minutes to read that, read a book. If you say you're gonna work on this, work on that. That's what I'm
So does it have anything to do with time?
It does, and I'm glad you said it that way because the way that I wrote the book, I'm taking it a notch down. I'm taking it one more step down, and this chapter is all about patience and not instant gratification.
Ooh, snap.
You're making so many changes and there's so much progress. And I didn't give, AJ, I didn't give you the in-between chapters, but there's in-between chapters that do talk about goal setting and hobbies and stuff where that I will break down that part of it, right? Making sure that what you're doing is timely and things like that. But with growth, right, and change, we have to have patience. And a lot of it, we have to have patience with ourselves. That's why, again, we may set a goal and because it's taking too long or, we're not looking at the day-to-day progress that we're making, patience for a lot of people is out the window. We may have a goal that it may take us a few years and we want it today. It's unrealistic. So I go deep into making sure that you understand that it's not instant gratification. When I used to run groups, I would tell people, everyone's walking around with a big bucket of water. The things that you're learning, they're just droplets in there from the stuff that's already the big, you know, container of water that you've been carrying around your whole life. There's no way you can expect to make certain changes with like your attitude and certain things like that instantly. You're just starting to add a little bit more droplets of water in there. So you have to be very patient with yourself. It doesn't happen overnight.
Hold
so
the
I'm
book
like,
up.
Don't forget to sit.
Hold the book up one more time, Jess. So that we're gonna promote this. Bees, pound cake, feeding mental health for the soul. Going back to the questions, Jess.
All right.
Are you still the same person who believes in love?
Yes, unfortunately. I am. I think that I think my definition of love has been tweaked, but I'm definitely still that person that, yeah, hopeless romantic, you know, all that with a little bit extra in there.
Is it still the same? Because you did say tweak, so I know what it is. So, but I'm still gonna ask: is it still the same when you was 18, now going on 36, or so?
No,
I'm glad. Okay. So at 18, what was love to you?
Having somebody to be with, not being by myself, handsome. I think it was surface level love at 18.
Now about to hit 36. What is love to you?
From the inside out. It's not necessarily about looks at this point, age, right? And it's more so people. My definition of love is you're gonna do what you say you do, and I'm seeing it in actions as well. And there's many different ways to be able to show love, and whether it's listening, being able to validate my feelings. But if I'm getting that feeling from the inside out, that's what works. If I can, you know, look at you and I wasn't initially attracted to you and different things like that, but I'm starting to have that connection, like that's more love. At 18, I probably would have missed out on that type of love because I was too looking at the
outside. Yep.
Yeah, and I done missed out on real love because I was looking at what everybody else looked at was attractive and so forth. So it has changed. I will say that. It's matured.
Okay. Quit, I want to hear what you got to say. Because Quit is married.
At 18, I was with my baby daddy. Well, he was my boyfriend at the time. But like just like it was more of a physical attraction. Now at this age, I'm looking for a best friend, a teammate, somebody to challenge me to be better. Someone to help me reach my goals. Somebody has goals on their own that I can challenge. Like it's way different from 18. Like if you still have the same love expectations as you did at 18, you didn't grow. Right. Emotionally, and I can probably say mentally either. Because they should have changed. Because even in relationships, that's why they say relationships are hard. You have to work on them because you change as a person, period. So your relationship is going to change. And either you're going to grow together or you're going to grow apart. Absolutely. So.
Okay. All right, Jess, this is your last nasty question.
All right.
I bet she'd be like, oh, Lord.
Tell me about the most intimate, non-sexual moment you ever had. Tell me about the most intimate, non-sexual moment you ever had.
Man, I can't even pinpoint one, to be honest. And because I can tell you now, it had all the world to do with communication. 50% relationship for me is the communication. That's intimacy for me as well. If we're able to talk about fun things and tough topics, or we're planning to do things and it's happening and we're steady, you know, talking about it, I can't even lie, like that would make me wait before something else would, just because it's up here, right, for me. It's providing me security in conversation. And I feel like my feelings are being validated. So, and I've had those deep enough, you know, connections and conversations before where it was like, all right, let's go. I'm taking my panties off. you said the right things. Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Season 5 Cal Podcast. We got Jessica here. We're talking about her book, and we got our last topic. What makes that cake? Did I get it right?
It is. Oh, let me flip to it because I just had it. Oh, what makes this cake so good?
What makes this cake so good?
So with this being the last, and I'll let you guys think, but this being the last chapter, now that we've cleaned our kitchen, I give you the recipe, you set your timer, took it out the oven. I had you taste it, right? I had you go through and take a look. I had to put this one last. Like, now that you've had that experience, getting this new recipe, what makes it so good? And that one just talks about gratitude. All about gratitude. If we don't count the little victories, how are we gonna count the big ones? How can we celebrate those bigger, accomplishments, those bigger victories? So we have
like winning best decorated in the Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi area.
Absolutely, yes. Or even backtracking to having a chance to, be nominated, right? Like,
yeah, that was dope.
Before, right? Because had the award not been there, at least I did celebrate the fact that I was recognized, and I'm going to get it the next time. But if we don't indulge in those smaller victories, it's not going to be right. Or we may not even make it, to the pinnacle. So we have to always have gratitude. Things could be a lot worse. If you're really going through the book and you're really, really working and focusing on yourself, like, it should always be something to celebrate at the end. God gave you breath, life, so much to be grateful for.
Let me throw this at you. So let's say to the woman out there who got the career, she got the car she wants, she got the house she wants, but she really wants the family and she's really trying to get it. What can she do to realize, like, I know everything all this, but she wants this in particular? What can she do to realize that what made her cake so good?
Groundwork and self-care and getting back to self. That was me. That was me. I was her. I'll disclose just a little bit. Last year I finished my second master's degree, and a lot of things I put on the back burner. Once school was over, I was just like, and mind you, I was still in a career, right? But when school was done, I think it just hit me like, what next? It was a very empty feeling. And my godmom was like, as African Americans, we always feel that we have to have that it's always like a level of success that's very unconscious in our mind. Like, we have this, that, and the third, and we're still missing out on something else. So I had to do a lot of groundwork and praying to God and the universe, and it just came down to, I know I can have anything that I want, have to be able to attract that. But if I'm not working on some other inner stuff with me, I got the car, I got the career, the dog, my own place and stuff, but I'm missing the relationship, I'm missing, I want to have a family and stuff. I had to get back to me and the groundwork within myself, the stuff that I've been hiding, running away from, not being honest about, working on my credit, working on, and before I knew it, like, God was like, all right, you ready now? And all those things that I wanted to be able to have, like, it started to come to fruition. But groundwork and self-love and self-care.
So basically they need to not look at the Instagram posts and realize that they got more going on.
Exactly, yes. Because if that gratitude piece is missing, it's missing for sure. Again, if we can be grateful for the little things that we have, those small victories, and we keep working on ourselves, the good stuff we give to us, like, it's going to eventually come. There's no way it won't come if we're not paying attention to the things that we need for us. But we got to be real. I stopped comparing myself to people. I got off social media, for a while, started doing my morning routines and all of that. And it worked for me. So that would be my advice, especially for Black women. It's tough, but we can do it. We can do it if we put our mind to it. I know it's cliche, but
no, it need to be said, because I mean, even if you, and I'm gonna take me for example, because I remember when I graduated from college, I just remember so many Black of my classmates getting a career. Then you look up, they got a house, and they might not got the car they want, but I'm like, you got a whole damn house. I'm up here still trying to find a job that's gonna pay me more than $35,000. So I'm like, I think some black women just don't take the time to really look to see what they get. You might not have that Huxtable, that's a terrible one. We're dealing with Bill Cosby. You might not have that that husband and the family, but you're doing better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's that. All right, Jessica, last relationship question. Now, this one might be a tough one, but we're just finna see. What do you remember most about your first date?
Man, I feel like I was so young. My first date.
Cool, I'm coming to you too.
I don't know. It's fun. I think I went to the movies or something. Queen and me and AJ went to high school together, so I dated the same person.
Oh wow!
The whole time, I thought we was gonna get married.
I did too. Like, I really did too. I really did too.
Everybody thought we was gonna
get
married. I was like, I'm going to college. You don't want to go, so I'm leaving. That's literally what happened.
Damn.
Really hold on. Before she gets like, when I tell you they was together, they was together. They were like, yeah, they gonna like. You really thought she would have had a baby and all that by now, but I don't know. Hey,
yeah, I was like a midget taller than him. And then by senior year, he was taller than me. I mean, I thought we was gonna get married and everything too.
Wow.
I think we just went to the movies and hung out. Like that's all I can remember. It seemed like so long ago.
So, what about your first adult date?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. You guys,
that
horrible.
I remember something like this. I mean, the chicken was good. I mean,
bruh, let me tell y'all.
He ordered dessert. I had the ice cream salad for.
Let me tell y'all about my adult date. My first date was probably the movies because I was in high school. My baby daddy, boom. Anyway, my first adult date outside of my baby daddy, like, yeah. It was Valentine's Day, so all restaurants are like packed. So, and we kind of left late. So we end up going to IHOP in Little Rock.
That sounds like something I did, Quito.
When we finally sat down, we were with another couple as well. So when we finally sat down and they gave us the menus, like the waitress was like, "What can we get for you?" He rubs my stomach and said, "I know you hungry."
I like him. You should have stayed with him.
Basically grab my food for like, "I know you hungry," and I know you hungry.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Like, it was all bad. After we finished eating, was your food good? Patting my stomach. Like, no, bruh. I wasn't even that big, but I mean, I had a little gut. But yeah, we gonna draw attention to it. It was bad. It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
My first adult date, I remember, and we're gonna leave it at that.
That was such a hard question because I remember so many dates. Not for nothing, but it's like I don't remember.
Mine was terrible.
I mean, your first dates with anybody, most people remember either it was a good or bad. You're like, you know what, my guy, I don't think we're gonna make it. Let's not do this no more.
I don't think I ever really. I met somebody out like for coffee once, and then I knew after that I was like, yeah, no, like off of dating out, but like to go to dinner or something like that, I can't recall.
Oh wow, a dating out, coffee.
Yeah. Like when I first moved, I live in Tampa, so when I first moved out here, I was like, in order for me to get to know people, I was ready to leave and go back to South Florida, honestly. And a coworker was
I like Tampa.
Yeah.
That's one
I love Tampa now, though. It's gonna be a place.
That's one of the spots I was looking to move into.
Yeah, listen, I've been here since 2017, so I'm not leaving. I'll be here for a good minute.
You know how many times I've been to Tampa just to get some cigars?
How far is Tampa from you?
It depends on which way you go. Because if you
Where
go
are
to
you
back,
now?
I'm in Jacksonville. I'm still in Jacksonville.
Okay, it's 3 hours. It's a hop in the skill.
But if you go to the back way, it's like 2 something, but you just got to worry about the speed traps.
Yeah, 301 if you're going backwards, Ocala area. Yeah, 230 possibly.
So yeah, so I done drove to Tampa just to go to the casino. Go to I got 2 cigar spots that I like down there. Actually, Tampa was the first time I've ever been to Texas Brazilian. That's how I got a hold of them. But yeah, I love Tampa.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I'm right
Thank
here.
you. All right.
But yeah, went to the coffee shop. I was like, no, I'm straight. Like, I'm good. Like, it was nice to meet.
Oh, what was the problem when you actually got to the coffee shop? Because I'm sure like y'all had conversations before or prior to. He
talked a lot more than anticipated, and there wasn't much space for me to talk. And the things he was talking about, I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. I almost felt like he hadn't been out in a long time or something, and just was so excited. And that was enough for me. I'm like, nah.
Maybe he was his first black girl. He didn't know how to act.
Either way, it was a turn off. I set that boundary immediately, blocked it and all. I'm good.
Oh, wow.
But that's part of dating. That's the fun part, right? Like you get out there and you figure out like what you like, what you don't like, you know. That's just a part of it. Yeah.
Who do you got anything else before we go to these KL podcast questions?
I don't.
Okay, so
go ahead and hold up your book again.
Oh no. We're gonna give you a spot to promote it. We're gonna give you a spot to promote it. Don't worry, we do. We got it.
Just flash it out through just when you ever think out. Just
next time I'll be like you and have it in the background. But this is my goal. You know, my word this year is receive. So I wrote down all the categories of life from career.
You should go get like a big poster so you can put it back there on yellow thing.
Yeah, it's gonna say bees pound cake.
Yeah, okay. So this is the Cal Podcast questions. Some of the questions gonna be either or, some gonna be fill in the blank. Some questions gonna be 1 or 2 or 3 answers, but it's up to you. But we do need an answer, and if you try to play us, we'll be on this bitch all night.
Okay, do my best.
So the first question, Jessica, love or money?
Love.
And you let her answer, Quita.
Because she said she was a hopeless romantic.
But you never know. She might want this book to take off, and it could be money. You never know. All right. Financial literacy or health literacy?
Health literacy.
All right. This one you can pick 2 out of 3, but you can't pick all 3. T-shirt and panties, lingerie, or nothing at all?
T-shirt and panties.
Okay. This one is a perk question. He's not on, but we're still going to ask it. Do you like your men skinny, bulk, or big boy season?
Oh, bulk in the middle.
Bulk in the middle. Florida wins again. Florida wins again.
Oh, no, because, I can take stocky too now,
No, you said bulk. That means I won. All right. How many baby mamas is too many or a deal breaker?
Hell, 2.
2, okay. If your pH balance is off, do you still let her go downtown?
No.
Damn. Shit. They got nothing to do with you. It's just something else. Yeah. We're gonna FaceTime her, Quita. I just want to throw that out there.
Just FaceTime her and ask her because she's
No. We gonna FaceTime her together, and you gonna ask her.
Okay.
Right. Is waiting 90 days even worth it?
Yes.
Okay, that's the first.
It's worth it.
Well, you the first. Everybody else was like, nah. All right. Who's more important in a black girl's life, her mother or her father? Father. What is the best advice a black woman ever gave you?
Best advice. Best advice. Do for me, do for self. My grandma, not for nothing. I can give y'all, I won't give you the long story, but long story short, my grandma raised me, and she told me when I get older, I don't owe them niggas nothing. you know, yours. And she would tell me that at various times, you know, of my life, and I didn't understand that until I became a full-fledged adult, and I was like, damn, like I get it now. That was probably the best advice.
Okay. Fill in the blank, Jessica. Black men should for Black women. Black men should for Black women.
Black men should, can I say Black men should support Black women? Okay. Or does it have to be active? I'm gonna say
no. So this is whatever you want. Now, Black women should for Black men, and you can't use the same answer twice. Black women should for Black men.
Dang. Black women should, oh man, because I want to say help, but that's still like support. Oh, that's tough. Now I'm like, I want to change my answer.
We already got support. We need something else. Black women should for Black men.
Oh, that's tricky. Quita, help me.
No, Quita cannot help you.
I'm stumped.
We got time. We need an answer. We need an answer. We'll be here all night, just we need an answer.
Damn, I can't say support twice because we gotta do that. Black women should validate Black men. Let's say that.
Advocate, validate, stand up for.
She said validate, so we're gonna roll with validate. All right, Jessica, you can have a conversation with 3 Black women, dead or alive. Who are they?
One would definitely be my grandma.
Okay.
A second Black female. I definitely want to have a conversation with Viola Davis.
Oh, somebody said her name.
Memoir, and
I love that woman.
Yeah,
I love that woman.
Is something special.
I love that woman, Viola Davis.
Issa Rae at this moment. I want to have a conversation.
Issa Rae.
I want to pick her brain for sure.
All right.
Issa Rae is so different.
Right. It's just real and all of that. But Viola Davis, it gotta have some old wisdom, older wisdom, right? Yeah.
So Jessica, 3 women are her grandmother, Viola Davis, and Issa Rae, which are all 2 new names in the cap this season. So that's what's up. Okay, last question, Jessica. This is a Cap podcast question. We ask everybody. We've been asking everybody's questions since season 1. Who has the better pancakes, Cracker Barrel or Whataburger?
Moment of truth.
Really?
Really?
Y'all, I don't even like Cracker Barrel pancakes, or their syrup is disgusting. I'm biased.
Oh, Perk would have kicked you off.
I'm gonna just go with what I mean,
because that is the main thing. The warm syrup.
That syrup's nasty.
Jessica,
I'm gonna say Whataburger because
Whataburger, baby.
I don't Cracker Barrel. And you could at least say a Bob Evans, or you know what I'm saying.
But we don't have a Bob Evans.
Oh dang!
Never ate it before. I don't even know what that is.
It's a Cal podcast question, baby. We don't add nothing to it, but she did say Whataburger. She said Whataburger, baby. So it's 2.
Where is Perk?
It is 2-2-3. Booyah! Ah, Jessica, you making my day, girl.
Nice.
All right, Jessica. Dang, that was a good one. Okay, so I got one more question.
That was a good one.
That was good. All right, so Jessica, I'm gonna show you a picture of a Black woman. You might have seen her. Matter of fact, she might have came to Tampa. Hell, she might have came out there to Texas when you was out there. But I want you to tell us 3 things about this Black woman that me and Quita might not know about her. Okay, let me get the picture. Here we go. And boom.
3 things you might not know?
Might not know about this Black woman. Tell us 3 things we might not know about this Black woman.
Oh man, it's hard because we went to school together. So I'm like, what kind of stuff could I say?
What could you say?
Characteristics.
Darn, I said so much already today.
3 things about this Black woman that we might not know that you can share on the Cal podcast.
I can share. Was not raised by either parent, I guess, by mom or dad. Has 2 siblings in 2 different states. A lot of my friends don't even know I have siblings because
I didn't even know that either. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
definitely
that.
treated like an only child. And one more thing. I've lived in a bunch of different states. I've done a lot of traveling, but I've lived in a bunch of different states as well.
Okay.
3.
Didn't know you had siblings. I promise you thought you was the only child.
I do. I have a brother that lives in San Antonio, and I have a sister that lives in LA and a sister that lives in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Didn't know that. That's what's up. Okay. All right, Jess. So this is the part of the podcast we give you the floor, the chance to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Promote your book, but the floor is yours.
Well, I had so much fun, you guys. This is my first podcast. I hope I get, a chance to come back, talk about any type of topic, especially if it's surrounding, Black culture or mental health, what have you. I'm a brand new author, Bees Pound Cake. I am praying that I find a publisher sooner than later, so that I can get this released before the summertime. It's already copyright and a done deal with the government, U.S. government, so it's official. I'm definitely an author. And y'all pray for me, I pray for y'all. Like, I'm on this road of entrepreneurship. All last year, I spent time working on myself, a lot of groundwork. I've gone to therapy before. Therapists have therapy as well. Don't let nobody tell you different, right? And 2023 is just all about receiving. I have my stuff on the board behind me. The things that are written in the book, I've done them. I've run groups on them. And it's a real situation. So the things that I share with the world, the message that I want to get across to people of how important mental health is, it affects everything that we do, money, relationships, and so forth. I'm doing it as well. So I guess that's pretty much it. I'm just want to get the message out there, and thank you guys so much. I had so much fun tonight. I'm usually to bed by this hour.
So. Yeah, we got you. And 2023 for me is more releasing because I told my mom I was gonna make her grandmother this year.
And winning for me.
Oh my God, I love it. Yes. So, I love it.
It's the Jordan year.
Yeah, Jordan year. I'm shooting shots whole year.
All right.
Yes. So, but last question before we get you out of here, Jessica, we got to get your answer. What do Black women need to do better in 2023?
I'm going to say self-care. I'm going to go back to that because that self-care, it fits with the boundaries, right? And figuring out who we are as an individual first. And that comes with the self-care, taking the time, put ourselves first, not just hair and nails and those type of things, but actually giving real self-care, meditating, more sleep, taking care of our skin, doctor's appointments and dental appointments and different things like that. Get back to us and putting us first. That's self-care.
Season 5 Cal Podcast. We got Jessica in here helping us out, talking about a book. She picked Whataburger. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. Oh, I wish, I don't even care if Perk TJ ain't on. This turned out to be a great episode. Jessica, boo, I really do appreciate you getting on. I really Absolutely. Do. Like this probably, make sure we get the book. Like, even if it is a physical, we got to get one for Quita because we're trying to get Quita to literally touch a glass to the next level so she can find some of this stuff for us. So, happy to see you on your entrepreneur journey. Happy to see you. And if there's anything you need us to do, like once the book is published, you need us to promote it, let us know. We'll boom it on our social media. Whatever you need from us, just let us know. So, Quita, you got anything else?
I don't. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
So like I always said, we're gonna get better and do better. Quita with us, TJ was on perk. We don't know where he at. Who cares? She picked Whataburger. This is the Cal Podcast, man. Y'all have a good night.
G14 classified. That's good.
Long live DJ Star.